If you recall, the original title for this podcast was Finally Thriving and Seriously Irritated. So I've talked before about all the nonsense that makes you question whether civilization is progressing or if we're all just slowly devolving into chaos. But this discussion, it's not going to be about the fact that I loathe people who chew gum or watching them chew gum. I mean, what gives with the open mouth, over the top, exaggerating, chewing nonsense. It's like performance art, but for people who hate joy. And today is also not going to be about the feral middle schoolers who ride their e-bikes around like they're reenacting Mad Max Fury Road on our streets. Those are the things I talked about in episode 4. But yeah, sure, they still bother me deeply spiritually. But today we are talking about something else entirely, something that has been assaulting my sanity in a different way, something that feels like a collective societal cry for help. Hi, everyone. I'm Shauna Gabriel, and this is the Flavored Word podcast. Welcome. So today we are talking about some of the most ridiculous marketing campaigns I have seen lately, the ones that make you pause mid-scroll, tilt your head like a confused golden retriever and wonder, who approved this? Are they okay? Starting with, can someone please explain to me why almost every commercial for anti-wrinkle cream features a woman who is, I don't know, 28, 25 years old, if we're being honest? And yeah, dog in the background. She's always smiling, that serene, soft, focused smile, delicately tapping cream onto her already perfect skin with her fingertips, turning side to side, admiring her reflection like she's just discovered the concept of pores. What is that? Who is that for? Nobody cares how a 25-year-old applies wrinkle cream. A 25-year-old doesn't need wrinkle cream. She can sleep 3 hours, drink tequila, cry in a bathroom stall, and still wake up looking like she's starring in a skincare ad. Show me a real commercial. Show me a woman at 47 or 55 or older. Have her standing in her bathroom with one eye half open, hair in a bun, just like this. She's tapping the cream onto her face, with real life experience. Show me someone who has lived long enough to need the product. But no, we get dewy 20-something-year-old gently massaging her face as if she's auditioning for a role as a woman applying moisturizer number 3. And I'm supposed to believe she's worried about crow's feet? Please. Along the same lines, can we talk about workout marketing? Because this has been going on forever, and I still don't understand why we're supporting brands that insist on showing women post-workout who look like they've never actually worked out a day in their lives. First of all, why is their hair down? Who works out with their hair down? Who? Show me one person doing burpees with a blowout. It's not happening. Second, they're not sweating, not even a little, not even a polite forehead sheen. They look like they just stepped out of a climate-controlled yoga studio where the temperature is set to gentle encouragement as opposed to hot 26. Third, again, they're always 25 also, maybe 26 if the casting director was, feeling adventurous. Sorry, but no one cares, because at 25, you can roll out of bed, throw on leggings, and look amazing. You can be semi-hungover, hydrated, or not hydrated. You can be dehydrated and still fool the world. But once you hit 45, 50, forget it. Those next couple decades, they pull punches with or without the wrinkle cream. You can be hydrated, moisturized, well-rested, and still look like you've lived a full, complicated life, because you have. So why are we all pretending that fitness looks like a lightly perspiring 20-something with perfect hair? It's ridiculous. And it's selling, which is the part that irritates me the most. Which leads me to something else. People who dress inappropriately in public, and listen, I have to be careful here because I've talked a lot about women supporting other women, and I believe in that. I live with it. I've done entire episodes on the queen bee phenomena and how women tear each other apart instead of lifting each other up. But I just have to ask, do some people even look in the mirror before they go out? What is that about? What is it about that outfit this morning that made you think, oh, if this fits, I can wear it? I can see parts of you that I don't want to see. And quite frankly, I shouldn't be able to see. There is a difference between confidence and whatever that is. And here's the thing. My irritation isn't around bodies. It's about the effort. It's about intention. The fact that we're all sharing space. And sometimes it feels like people forget what public really means. On a serious note, it genuinely pisses me off when women don't support other women. And now actually planning an entire panel discussion series on the topic with other women, just normal women. I don't want experts in psychology. I just want women. I don't need someone with a TED Talk and a ring light. I want to hear from you, the women who actually live this dynamic every day. So if you're interested in being a part of that conversation, drop me an email, press@shaunagabriel.com, and I'll be in touch. Moving on, since we flipped the switch a bit into more serious territory, let's talk about something that has been driving me absolutely insane, the food wars. I saw a commercial the other day for, I think it's put out by the beef industry. It's all about how beef is the real, authentic, the better choice, etc. And the problem is that it spews the same kind of nonsense all the anti-meat campaigns do. It's the same energy, just wearing a different apron. And I just don't get it. What gives? Why are we still pretending there's no room on our plate for both? If your beef is responsibly sourced, meaning not from a CAFO, enjoy it, truly. A number of years ago, I was with a magazine that led me to do some glorious pieces on American Angus ranchers, and I stand by every word. They are doing incredible work. But sometimes I prefer a veggie burger or a plant-based one or whatever we're calling them this week. And so what? That doesn't mean I'm dissing the meat industry. Just like when I eat a beef burger, it doesn't mean I'm a heathen who doesn't have any concern for the planet. Something's got to give, people. Seriously, it's stupid. It's just plain stupid. It's like when I mentioned a while back my internal debate over using non-dairy creamer in my coffee, and the internet trolls decided I should feel like a failure when I switched back to dairy. Why? Why do we care so much about what is in someone else's mug? I use non-dairy alternatives in my cooking all the time, but my coffee? No. And thank you. I deserve to have a nice morning, and so do the people around me. So dairy, half and half. It's going in my coffee. Let's not forget also about the whole farm-raised versus wild-caught seafood debate. Listen, I've escalated on this topic before. I'm very well informed, and quite frankly, I am allowed to move my opinions a bit after becoming more educated over the last 3 decades. That's called growth. And here's where I've landed. Again, there's room on our plate for both. There's room in our lives for both responsibly farm-raised and ethically sourced from the wild. We need to be able to enjoy them both, because honestly, if we don't figure out how to farm seafood responsibly, we're in big trouble, especially given the state of our oceans. We need both. We need balance, we need nuance, and we need to stop acting like your choice in salmon is a moral referendum. But I'll leave it at that. So where am I going with my little rant today? Honestly, maybe it's spurred by the recent situation in the WNBA, the one where a player completely, purposely and brutally took out another player, got ejected, and then somehow had the audacity to make it about everything except what actually happened. Here's the part that irritates me. We watched the same footage. We saw the same play. It was intentional. It was dangerous. It was unsportsmanlike. Full stop. But instead of accountability, we got deflection. We got noise. We got people, mostly women, jumping to defend the offender as if the real issue wasn't the hit itself, but the narrative around it. And that's what frustrates me, because that's not women supporting women. That's not solidarity. It's not empowerment. That's just absurd. The situation has been elevated, twisted, and stretched so far that there is no win anymore. The simplicity of it is this. She deliberately caused harm. In any other professional league, that's ground for serious consequences. Period. But instead, we get a storyline. We get controversy. We get a debate that has nothing to do with the actual behavior. And maybe I'm just fed up with dreamed up, manufactured controversy, the kind where we take a straightforward issue and turn it into a cultural battlefield. It's the same energy as the eat meat and you're a bad person who hates the planet narrative, the bullshit like oh, all vegans are holier than thou. Also bullshit. I guess that's why I'm a flexitarian with my diet, with my thoughts, with my approach to life, the whole my way or the highway, all or nothing. Pick a side, and then you have to stay there forever. That attitude is exhausting. And honestly, it's a bunch of nonsense. So maybe that's the thread running through all of this, the wrinkle cream ads, the fake post-workout glow, the dreamed-up food wars and manufactured controversy, the refusal to hold people accountable, noise, nonsense, absolute lack of nuance. We've become culture obsessed with extremes, all or nothing. Pick a side, stay there, defend it loudly, never change your mind, never admit you learned something new, never say, actually, I see this differently now. Life doesn't work like that. Food doesn't work like that. People don't work like that. And honestly, I don't work like that. I'm a flexitarian not with what's on my plate, but with how I think and evolve, how I make sense of the world. I believe in accountability. I believe in supporting women, and I believe in calling out nonsense when I see it. And I believe in leaving room for people, including myself, to grow. So maybe the point of today's episode isn't that all these things irritate me. Maybe the point is that we're allowed to be complicated. We're allowed to be flexible, and we are allowed to change our minds. We can expect better from brands, from each other, from ourselves. And if that irritates anyone, they can take it up with a wrinkle cream girl. That's all I got. Thanks for listening. Hopefully I've given you something to think about, to discuss with others, or at least to Google. Drop me a note if you're interested in being a part of that upcoming panel discussion on the queen bee phenomena and why it's so difficult for some women to support other women. Be sure to subscribe so you get access to all the fresh content and the snarky attitudes before everyone else. And remember, this isn't a scrapbook. It is unfiltered talk. Thanks for being here. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.